If you're a real estate agent and you want to get ahead of the curve and learn how to use ChatGPT the way it was meant to be used, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through 4 specific strategies that I use in my day-to-day to save me at least 2 hours per day. As you're going to see, these strategies are really, really incredible. ChatGPT has been progressing so fast, and just 6 months ago, none of this stuff was possible. So really watch each of these steps, try and learn them. They're very, very simple and easy to learn. And overall, if you get anything from this video, it's that you should be playing around with this software. There's going to be a lot of agents that don't know how to use this moving forward. And the people that do really are just going to be ahead of the curve. The first use case is going to be creating CMAs. So let's say you're making a listing presentation for a client and you want to put together some comparables. ChatGPT can now communicate with Redfin and actually give you an incredibly accurate list of comparables, also break down price per square foot, lot acreage, a bunch of other things, which I'll walk through fully. The second use case is scanning documents. ChatGPT can now scan a real estate document and tell you the key points, if anything is missing, and pretty much act as your compliance officer, which is incredible. I specifically use this to analyze listing agreements, RPAs, leases, and a bunch of other real estate documents. The third is creating property descriptions. Property descriptions obviously can be very tedious to make. ChatGPT is incredible with its copywriting now. So I'll walk you through that. And the fourth interesting one is actually mapping appointments. So say you have a buyer that wants to tour a bunch of properties. ChatGPT can now, in one split second, analyze all of them and give you the best route. So let's jump right into these. I'm going to give you a step-by-step walkthrough on all 4 of them with very, very simple instructions. Okay, guys, so now we're in ChatGPT. Let's talk about how ChatGPT can help you create a CMA and specifically find comparables for your property in a split second. Let's say I'm listing a property in Beverly Hills. I'm going to have ChatGPT find me the average price per square foot. I'm going to have it find me some comparables, and then I'm going to have it come up with a valuation based on these comparables and my property square footage and lot size. So first things first, I'm going to give it my property address and all of the pertinent information about that address. Okay, so as you can tell, I gave it some information about the property. I said, I'm listing a property in Beverly Hills. Here are some important details. It has 12 beds, 14 baths, 22,000 square feet, and it sits on a 3-acre lot. Act as a real estate expert and scan credible websites to back up your statistics. What this is going to do is it's going to make sure that ChatGPT scans relevant websites like realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin to make sure that the statistics it's giving you is legitimate. So I'm asking, what is the average price per square foot of homes in Beverly Hills? So it's going to search a bunch of sites and you can actually see which sites. So it searched Bing, Redfin, realtor.com, and Rocket Homes. So it says the average price per square foot in Beverly Hills is approximately $1,500. And it will pretty much tell you where it got that information. So this is a good general start. As a real estate agent in Beverly Hills, I should have already known this. So next, what I want to do is I want to find some comparable properties. Okay, so here is what I'm going to ask ChatGPT to find me some comparable properties. Can you please find comparable properties in Beverly Hills? Please find active listings and sold listings. Break them down by price per square foot in a chart. Only look at properties that have been sold in the last 6 months. So it will search a bunch of sites. It searched realtor.com and Redfin, and it pulled a bunch of recently sold properties and then put them into a chart for me. So as you can see, a bunch of these are great. But as you can see, actually a lot of them are pretty small in the square footage compared to mine. As I said, mine was 22,000 square feet. But how cool is this? It will literally put it into a chart for you so that you can just download it and put it into a listing presentation, whatever it is. But I want to be more specific. So I'm going to ask it, please only find listings that are similar in size to mine, minimum of 15,000 square feet. So the more specific that you are, the better it's going to perform. And then I'm going to ask it. Okay, fantastic. So now I have a chart of 3 similar comparables that I can then go off of price per square foot. As we can see, Oak Pass Road is active, and then these 2 are actually sold. Granted, this property is 22,000 square feet, so there's not a multitude of comparables that are that similar that have been sold or active in the last 6 months, but you get the gist. So that is how to use ChatGPT to find comparable properties to just help you save time when you're creating a listing presentation. The second use case is scanning documents. So now ChatGPT-4o can scan a real estate document, give you, the key points of a lease, or it can tell you what you've left out on the listing presentation or an RPA. So I'm going to give you an example with a lease. So all you have to do is come down here and you're going to click the little attachment icon and upload from computer. So I uploaded the document to ChatGPT and I'm just going to ask it, can you scan this lease and give me all of the main points? And what it's going to do, which is absolutely unbelievable, is give me a summary of all of these main points. So it's going to tell me the parties involved. It's going to tell me the property address, the term. So it says the lease term begins May 1st, 2024, gives me the termination date, tells me the rent of year 1 and year 2. It tells me how much the rent is going to be discounted from a certain time period. It tells me about payment, moving costs, late charges, utilities, maintenance, alterations, insurance, termination, and a bunch of miscellaneous. So it says no pets without prior consent. So as you can tell, ChatGPT-4o is incredibly good at scanning these real estate documents and just giving you main points in a very, very easy to read manner. So not only can it scan documents and give you the main points like this, it can also act as kind of a compliance officer. Let's say you have a listing presentation or an RPA and you want to know if you left anything off. Just upload it into ChatGPT and say, hey, does this look good? Is there anything important that I left off? And it will give you the key points back. Okay, the third use case is a little bit more mainstream. I know a lot of people have been doing this, but it's just creating property descriptions. The way to make ChatGPT the most effective when it comes to property descriptions is to find one that you really like and have it go off of it. So I'm going to go to Zillow. I found this property description that I really like, and I'm just going to copy and paste it into ChatGPT. So the prompt I'm going to give it is, can you please write me a proper description for my new listing? It is a house in Beverly Hills. It has 14 beds, 12 baths, 22,000 square feet, a 3-acre lot, and gorgeous views. I then say, please use this property description I am going to give you as inspiration. And I'm just going to paste that other property description that I found on Zillow. What that is going to do is it's going to write the new property description in the style of this one that I gave it. So I'm going to click send, and it is going to come up with a full property description. So ChatGPT gave me a response that I actually really like, but I'm going to fine tune it as you're going to see. So it says, welcome to your new dream home in the heart of Beverly Hills. This luxurious estate boasting 14 bedrooms and 12 bathrooms offers an unparalleled living experience across 22,000 square feet. It tells me about the lot size. It tells me about the harmonious blend of traditional charm and contemporary elegance, a bunch of other stuff. So it kind of comes up with property details like these that I didn't really give it. So you can be specific and you can give it a bunch of details. So does it have a spa? Does it have a private balcony? Does it have manicured grounds? And it will put all that stuff in here. I can also say, hey, it doesn't have those things, take it out for me. And it can also change the tone of this. So let's say I want to have a more quirky, fun, funny description, right? I want to be a little less serious. So I'm just going to say, rewrite the description in a funnier tone. And what it's going to do is it's going to start throwing jokes in there. You can also say, hey, write this in a more serious tone, make it shorter, make it longer. You can really be as specific as you want. So as you can see, it threw in some kind of funny, witty lines. It says the gourmet kitchen is ready to handle anything from a simple bowl of cereal to a 5-course meal that would make Gordon Ramsay proud. So it's going to have a bunch of stuff that it will throw in there. You can also ask it to write in a more professional tone. You can ask it to make the property description a certain amount of characters or words. There's a bunch that you can do with this. So play around with this. That is the best advice that I can give you. But this is just can save you a bunch of time and at a minimum give you some inspiration for your property descriptions moving forward. The fourth use case, which I know a lot of people struggle with, is creating an optimized route for house tours. Say you have a buyer that wants to tour 4 properties in a similar area, but you don't know the best route that is going to save you the most amount of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask ChatGPT. As you can see, I put in 4 addresses, 2 in Beverly Hills, 1 in Encino, and 1 in Studio City. I'm going to say, hey, can you give me an optimized route starting at this point? So I ask it, can you create me an optimized route to save as much time as possible? I am starting at this address. So I'm going to ask it, can you create me an optimized route to view all of the properties above I want to save as much time as possible. I'm starting at 1500 Purdue Avenue in Los Angeles. So as you can see, it's going to give me an optimized route, and it is perfect. So I'm going to start at 1500 Purdue. I'm next going to go to the property in Studio City, then Encino, then the 2 Beverly Hills properties. And it will even give me detailed directions. Obviously, people are just going to be using maps. But if you needed this, it's also helpful as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to stay ahead of AI trends in real estate, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.